Man, this is Talk What You Know podcast.
Talk what you know.
We back at y'all guys again, man. You see the content's going to continue to keep coming.
Content.
We in Atlanta, Georgia, ATL.
Shout out to Aim High Fitness. We here.
Aim High Fitness in the building.
You see it.
Creative Soul Studio. You see it. Hey, man, if you're trying to get trained, ladies, if you're trying to get right and tight, you're about to be wintertime, fall. So this the downtime before it get hot again, so you can be right. Go ahead and book your session now.
Aim High Fitness.
Go ahead and book your session now. Go ahead and book your session now.
Aim High Fitness. Aim High Fitness LLC. You know, aimhighfitness.com. Go ahead and book them sessions. Pull up on us.
Yes, sir, man. Get y'all ass in the gym. Get y'all big
asses in the gym.
In the gym.
No disrespect, but yeah, you know, exercise is key. It's important.
Absolutely.
Why y'all want to be lazy? You feel
man,
me?
Get your ass up, man. Get your ass up. It ain't that hard.
I know you tired when you walk up them steps now. Come on.
This summer was hot, so I know it was dreaded.
Get in there.
And staying inside.
Eating all that damn grease and fried chicken.
I done seen a lot of crab boys on my goddamn feed. A lot of crab boys.
Motherfuckers ain't doing nothing but eating out. Don't cook no more. When motherfuckers cook no more?
Niggas say them groceries high. Them groceries high.
Goddamn,
inflation.
The blood pressure gonna be high if you keep eating out.
Respectfully.
Goddamn.
Respectfully, man. But yeah, man, in this episode, man, we gonna really have a discussion around the streets, man. Look, is the streets worth the hype, man?
Is it?
And you know, when you hear that question, you know, I want you to think to yourself, you know, where does your mind go when we ask, is the streets worth the hype? Like, it can go in any different way. You know, we can be talking about street life,
metaphorically,
or you know, in the world of dating when it comes to the streets, man. So we're
is
gonna,
it worth the hype?
Break down those two things, man. And you know what I mean? Look, when you hear, you know, is streets worth the hype? You know, what you thinking, Versa?
Well, let's just go ahead and start it off with. I feel like we should just go ahead and start it off with women, or far as men. Is it worth the hype? Far as
dating,
yes, is it worth the hype? So I think we should move on into that area, and then we'll come back into the other one. We can all break it down so we can. But what I will say is, as far as I feel about that, is it worth the hype? I would say no from my personal experience. I know everybody go have their own opinion. Ms. Jones, I know you got your own opinion.
Absolutely.
But I would say no because the streets is always gonna be there. Streets. It's same game, different, you know, different joystick. That's all it is, you know. So it ain't gonna ever change. You know, it's just gonna evolutionize, but it's always gonna be the same game. So with that being said, I like to put my focus on other things that really matter the most. You know, I feel like some of the things that the streets bring, you can get anytime if you really feel like it. So
Explain that. What you mean?
Far as I'll say. Women or, you know, sex, whatever you want to, you know, I feel like those things you can get anytime that if you feel like in today's world, you know, it's easy, it's at access, you can pay for it, you don't have to pay for it, you can be broke, it don't matter, you can still get that. So with that being said, I think somebody told me a long time ago, hey, don't get stuck in no pothole, you feel me? And that rang to my ears to this day, you know, getting stuck in that pothole or the same thing. And the potholes, one of the motherfuckers is dangerous now. You're going to find the right pothole and be dangerous because you're not.
That tire?
Yeah. and you're not focusing on what you need to be focusing on, which is what you need to be doing out this life. It's okay to have fun. I ain't saying that. Your boy have fun now. Verzi have fun now. He gives some fun now. So, yeah. But at the same time, I ain't just so focused on that. Oh, let me get this one. Let me get that one. Damn, she got a fat ass. I might say that, but I ain't trying to, let me go holler to see if I can smack on her and then see somebody 2 minutes later and let me go see if I can holler and smack on her. You feel me? So that ain't my time. You know, I done did that before. I feel like I could do that at any era if I felt like it. And at this point in my life, I don't feel like I want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, just piggybacking off what Versi said. I mean, he said that he feel like it's not worth it. Me, I mean, I feel like it is worth it. I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like it's worth it because at the end of the day, you know, as you get older, I mean, the only way to find out what you want and don't want is you gotta test it out. I mean, that's the only way, right?
Experience.
That's true.
That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, me in my younger days, yeah, I was in the field. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out what I like, what I didn't like. Just trying to get my feet wet. Just trying to get my mind right. Like, it gonna be a certain point in time where you not ready to settle down. You not ready to be committed. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to test the waters. It's okay to figure out, you know what I'm saying, hey, I may like this, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? I want to fool with the X, Y, and Z. It's okay to do that. But at the end of the day, my only thing is, at the end of the day, you gotta know the consequences to anything that you do.
Correct.
I think that's the main thing. Like, it's more of knowing the consequences more than what you're doing. Because you can do something, and if you don't know the consequences, and then when it happens, you can't be like, oh, dang, I ain't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
That's why you got to weigh the options beforehand.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, if you out here in the field, you out here in the streets, you out here fooling with multiple women, at the end of the day, you got to know the consequences. Okay, I get somebody pregnant, I can get an STD.
Yep.
I can get myself in a situation that I don't want to be in.
Correct.
So you got to know what comes with that situation. But for me, I was always the man that always knew the consequences and the repercussions of what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't out here looking crazy when something happened or when someone popped up or when these two girls find out about each other and they arguing and doing all this other stuff. Like, you just got to know what comes with it, man. So at the end of the day, guys, man, whatever you do, just know the consequences, man. I think that's the main thing, just knowing the consequences of what you do and knowing what you get yourself into.
Word, absolutely, man. I think, I think it's all about where you are in life. You know what I mean? Like, if you are ready for a relationship, then the streets ain't gonna be worth it because you can't have that same mindset going into the streets. You know what I mean? But if you not looking for no relationship and you just out here just want to have time to yourself and just figure shit out, the streets can be fun if you do it the right way.
Right.
If you do it the right way, just like Dan was saying, like the shit can be very time consuming if you get too consumed with the streets. You don't want to be too consumed with the streets because that's when you out here just being reckless, doing all type of shit, man. But you know what I mean? I done had my time in the streets, but like majority of my life I've been in the streets, and now I'm like finally at a point to where like I don't feel the need to do that anymore. You know what I mean? So I think like being on the other side of the streets now and being clean, you know what I mean? Like being pure,
clean.
You know what I mean? I ain't cheated. I ain't like I'm
say
really
that
on the record. It's like my first time. I'm locked in. I'm really proud of myself. It's the first time I've ever done that. Ever.
I'm proud of you.
You know what I mean? So I've been in the streets the majority of my life, but to be on the other side, I can say, bro, like I really would prefer. I'm cool with this now being that in the streets, bro, is chaos. For me, it was chaos.
It is chaos.
Dealing with multiple women at one time, that means your attention going different ways. Of course, I was getting the validation from having multiple women, being able to deal with them when I wanted to deal with them. Right. But on the back end, that came with some shit. I done got some shit thrown at my car a few times. A few bitches done tried to flat my tires. I done got sugar put in my tank.
A new whip.
The streets come with a cost. The streets come with a cost. So now at the point now where it's just something where I'm more settled in. I'm comfortable. I ain't worried about getting no extra pussy because I got it right there if I ever need it, if I ever want it. And you know what I mean? I'm raising my daughter in my house now, so I'm trying to show her a good example of me being able to settle down with a woman because since my daughter been knowing me, she ain't never ever really seen me settle down. Yeah. She done seen me bring in multiple women.
Oh, man,
and she even done told me that. You know what I mean? So even her telling me that, they pay attention. So now it's like, bro, with being at the age she at now and being where I'm at in life, it's like I want to be able to show her that you done seen your daddy act a fool. Now look, you seen your daddy in this bag. And you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, show that to the best of my abilities, man. But look, the streets is fun. It just depends on where you at in life. But ultimately, at some point, you want to settle down. At some point.
I don't want to do that.
At some point.
Me personally, I just, like I said, it's about the focus. And I get what you were saying earlier. You get out there and test the waters and whatnot. How do you know if you don't try it? I get that. But at some point, you get a certain age, like you done. Come on now. I guess
done it all.
Yeah, but even that, I guess some people
haven't though.
They haven't. They said they haven't. So I can't speak for everybody. But it's some things that are common sense that you don't need to try that you already know. Right. Yeah. It's you done got to an age that you understand what common sense is. Most people have, so I don't have to try that to understand that. My thing is if I'm focused on what I need to be focusing on, the women that I need to be messing with or whoever gonna be around in my area anyway with what I need to be doing. The moment I take my eyes off what I need to be doing and going over here trying to this with Jane and this over here with Deborah and this over here with Shaquita and whoever, then I'm all over the place. You feel me? My emotions is here with her. My emotions is here with her. My emotions is over here, and they ain't on the right thing.
Yep.
If you ain't got no money in your pocket, you shouldn't be dealing with nobody.
Man.
Like, so you also got, that's also the thing about, you know what I'm saying? I feel like as a man, if you in your late 20s, early 30s, and you ain't got no business about yourself, you ain't got nothing going on, you ain't got no money in your pocket, like that, I think that should be first priority. It shouldn't be
broke niggas get pussy too now.
Deal with no woman. Yeah, they do.
Broke niggas get pussy too now.
They do, but I mean, if you fooling with a lot of women, but you ain't got no money in your pocket, what do you accomplish?
Hey, let me ask you something.
Women?
Look, hey, you ain't got no money in your pocket. You gonna stop getting pussy?
Yeah, I am personally. Yeah, I am.
So you ain't got no money in your pocket right now.
No money in my pocket.
Little shawty call you up and want you to smack on something. You gonna say fuck that? I ain't got no money. I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna.
That's not trying to get pussy though. That's getting this shit thrown
at.
That's falling in your lap.
Like, you're not gonna fuck.
But that's different. That's something.
Okay, so you is gonna fuck.
I'm not gonna actively try to.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I'm not pursuing pussy.
Because I gotta get some business about myself. I gotta get something going.
Right.
I gotta get something going. I mean, because at the end of the day, like at this day and age, man, I hate when people say like, "Don't chase money" or "Don't chase money," blah blah. At the end of the day, we in America. You need money to survive.
You do, bro.
So man, I ain't listening to none of that shit. I'm going after who got the biggest bag.
Yeah, you want to have your finances in line. That's the key to an easier life. Bottom line, bro. Like bottom line.
Yeah, you want to have your finances in line, but at the same time, to me, the whole don't chase a bag thing, I can agree with to a certain extent. Of course, money, like you say, you're gonna need that to survive. But at the same time, I mean, you gotta find out what your interests are, because a lot of niggas is making money and all they doing is surviving. I don't want to live in this motherfucker to survive.
I agree.
So I want to be able to actually live. And a lot of times, man, contentment don't come with what's in your pocket. It comes with what's in your heart.
But you gotta be able to survive before you can live, though. It's real.
Yeah.
You gotta survive before you can live.
Yeah.
Real
you
shit,
got to.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, in what cases do we not? I mean, we human beings, so we know how to survive with less.
Yeah.
We naturally know how to survive with less.
But you don't want to.
That's true,
you don't want to.
But but the thing is, bro, I'm not surviving and being on being on side of the road in the tent.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
But sometimes you have to do what you gotta do, though. I mean,
no, I get that part.
Tyler Perry owned something here, but he was sleeping in his car, right?
No, he was. I mean, I understand.
He held
like,
it down.
If that's your situation, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to lower my standards just because somebody say, "Oh yeah, don't chase money." No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lower my standards.
If at the end of the day I can get this bag and I know it's gonna better my situation, I'm gonna get that bag 10 times out of 10.
Correct.
I don't care what they talk about.
Yeah. But I mean, yes and no. Yes, if it's convenient for what you want to do out of life. Because like I say, if whatever it is that you're doing, say for this, what we doing right here, right? We ain't making you ain't doing nothing. We applying love. Now don't get me wrong, we got shit that we doing outside of this.
Absolutely.
But we still applying love and letting shit marinate and doing what we need to do. And when you applying that love and that attention in something, then money gonna follow. That's just like anything else. These people that the NBA players, they didn't get paid coming up. LeBron didn't get paid coming up. He was practicing. He had to put in all that work, all them years of work. So you ain't gonna get nothing fast. But he had his mama take care of him, who had to do certain things, make certain moves. What's the name? Ryan Clark was just talking about his dad the other day. Not too long ago, his father. That he didn't understand it then. His dad was he drove valet or something like that. But he drive to his football games. And then he had to leave early, but he just wanted to show his face, but he never stayed through the whole game, because he had to go work. Or sometimes it was cases where he had to share vehicles. He may have to let Ryan drop him off at work, take the car to school, then he going to a football game. His dad have to get somebody from work, drop him off, go get the car, things of that nature. So you got to do what you got to do. And,
that's surviving before living, though. That's surviving before living, though.
That's surviving.
That's a prime example.
That's a state of survival. You want to get to a point to where you don't have to do things like that. I'm pretty sure Ryan Clark daddy, he wanted just to be at the game and stay at the game the whole time. He didn't want to have to go and drive and do valet. He wanted to be able to spend that time with his son, but you got to work and do what you got to do. But when you get to a point to where you can build yourself up and where you don't, I'm pretty sure the ultimate goal is to not have to do that shit. So you want to get to where you want to be so you don't have to do that shit. Nobody wants to go to work. Like if majority of people, as far as if you're doing something that you don't necessarily love and you just going to work to do what you got to do, you're not waking up every morning excited to go and do that shit. You want to get to a point to where I don't have to do this anymore and I can do other things that I just love to do in my leisure time. That's the goal. And that's the thing, like people get too caught up in the grind and just like grind. But at the same time, where's the point where you get to where you need to be so that you can relax? You can get so in love with the grind that you don't find no time to relax.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think he made another great point. Ryan did. He said, it's about it's a tough road because as an individual, you working and do something and you being the best person that you can be to yourself, but to somebody else you might not be being, from their point of view, you might not be doing that. Mm-hmm. But to yourself, you might be thinking that you're doing everything that you can, and it's just a different point of view from somebody else.
I feel like if you in that situation, like that's where self-reflection come in. Like you gotta figure out to yourself like what it is that you want.
What do you want?
What I want and what this person want from me is gonna be totally different. And I don't give a damn about what they want because at the end of the day, it's all about what I want. Because that's gonna fulfill me more than trying to do something for somebody else to give them satisfaction.
Absolutely.
The only satisfaction that matters is what I do.
Absolutely.
But look, so I got what point where he was saying, because in that time he was a teenager, he might have been resenting his father at that time because he don't understand the moves that he have to make. Right. So from a person looking from that perspective, he thinking that, why you not
like you skipping out on my name. Yeah.
Now I ain't saying that that's what he said, but I went and instantly thought of that because we don't know in certain times when people got to do what they doing. He doing and to his father mind, he doing the best he can. Hey, he getting his son to the games. He doing, he going to work, still putting ends meet, doing whatever he can to make, keep his head above water, keep his family head above water. But to somebody else, you looking and like, oh well, what about me? Why you can't, you over here, you over there. I got three children, 3 different women, they different areas. So you over here with this one, they could be right now looking and saying, well, I wish my daddy was with me. Yep. I wish this, that, and the third, correct. But I can't be in 3 places at one time, right. So they don't understand that yet. But as we grow and get to start to seeing things and they look and saying, it's not nobody's fault. It's just a situation that happened. It's life. Life happens. So we have to react off of life, far as on what we want it to be. It don't have to happen to you. Whatever happens, it don't have to let it happen to you. If you want some out of life, go and get it. Like I said, like this right here, we all came together, said, let's do this, We going to get some. We ain't getting paid for it. We took our love and went applied, so that's when you putting real in it. And this right here could be something that bring out something bigger than anything that we got going on that we actually getting paid for. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. It's when you go and apply that love, and that's when it's showing you that when you hold it down for whatever it is, you hold it down, do it the best you can, like Tyler Perry, like Taraji P. Henson, staying in the car with a child, doing and things of that nature, doing what you can, because she still had a dream, right? I moved to Cali, I got to stay in the car. She still got a dream, so she fall through with that.
Right.
No, I agree, but. Still to your point though, you still gotta survive.
Right. The goal is to survive
you can live though,
and get to where I want to go. You know what I mean?
Got to.
But hold it down for what something real that you want to do, not just because it's just a check.
Right, for a passion.
But something being real, that's perspective though. Mm-hmm. So what's real to me might not be real to you.
Just a check.
It might be real to him.
But you always gonna, that's why I say chasing money. You always gonna be chasing a check if you don't find something solid to hold down on to.
No, for sure.
In my opinion.
But I'm not gonna tell somebody, hey, don't chase the money. Because you need money to survive, though. You need money to survive.
You do.
Yeah.
You need money to survive.
But I wouldn't chase it.
Huh?
You do, but I mean, I guess in a sort of a sense, I guess I wouldn't. Because look, but if you got a family, because it is certain situations that it is certain decisions that you have to make, even when you got a family. Like for instance, you might have to wall off, block off a time. And you might work all day. You might have to block off a time from 7 p.m. on to the top because you got a family at home that you need to come see and spend time with. So, you possibly could be getting the bag still at 7, 8 p.m. if you really wanted to. True. But you block off that time because that relationship in that time, you can't get back. Yeah. Money is something that, like you say, if you chase this, that, and the third, they always figuring out they decreasing what a dollar is today. So it's going down and down. It ain't increasing what it is. It's going down.
That's what balance comes in.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's all about balance. It's all about balance. The money is important because you need money to support that family.
Right.
If you ain't got no money, where y'all gonna sleep? So it's important that you are able to provide a certain lifestyle that you want for your family. That's what it comes down to. Like Jabbar was saying, like what do you want? What type of life do you want? Do you want to just survive? Do you want to just be doing the bare minimum and getting by off scraping off change, or do you want to get to a point where you're wealthy and you can have your kids playing in the backyard in your own house that you built on your own land and do what the fuck you want to do? Everybody got a different goals, and people usually put their energy towards whatever that goal is. So you got some people who cool with the normal life. I just want to go to work, go home, cook dinner, have a great day, watch TV, call it a day. Some people, they want more. They want millions. You know what I mean? So it's all about the individual and what they want.
So with that being said, let's switch it over to the other side because I know we railed off into another land. Let's switch to the other side. Is the streets worth the hype when it actually come to the streets with, let's see, gang banging,
the street life,
or street life, gang banging, scammers,
street life,
just the life of trying to get over on people or trying to hustle your way out. Not even hustle, but just a legal activity of trying to make it ahead.
I mean, for me, I'm never going to frown upon somebody that's trying to get some money or do whatever they can, because I mean we got politicians that do illegal shit each
That's
day.
That's facts. That's facts.
So I'm never going to frown upon somebody trying to do that. But what I will say, when it comes to drug dealing, when it comes to scamming, when it comes to kicking doors, when it comes to any of that stuff that y'all do, just know that, man, like if you can't do that, you're not gonna be able to do it forever.
Oh, yeah.
You're not gonna be able to do it forever.
It's an expiration date.
At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, if you're doing it with no plan, you're planning to fail. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have an end goal to that, then I hear you just bullshitting, being real.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm never gonna look down on nobody that's trying to scam somebody, trying to hustle, somebody trying to sell drugs or doing any other stuff. But at the end of the day, no, you can't do it forever. At the end of the day, if you ain't got no exit plan or you ain't got no plan, no end all be all, then what are you really doing that for? And two, I think it's important. Me personally, I think it's important, just like the people that you surround yourself with, too. Because at the end of the day, if you out here doing stuff that you know is gonna put you in a bad situation, and your friends are letting you do it, they just as guilty too.
Yeah, man. I think, man, when it comes down to the streets, man, like me, myself, I ain't no street guy by no means, but all I can do is just talk off experience and what I seen when I was growing up. I came up around more so with white people, went to Spartanburg Day. At some point, I went over to C.C. Woodson. I never forget this in my life, and I started playing rec league football, the Redskins. And that was my first encounter with, like, a bunch of black people at one time, all from the South Side, straight, like, street niggas. And, like, at this age, now I say that to say, like, bro, when it comes down to most people in the streets, bro, like, they grow up into that. Right. They were born into that. Right. So you got some niggas who get older and they choose to be on that street shit. That's lame. You know, I know a few niggas who chose to be a street nigga late in life. I ain't my business. But, you know what I mean, like, with that being said, just like most of these people, they grow up in the streets. So that's all they see coming up. They usually just got their mama. Dad probably wasn't there. So they just grow up in the streets around that hood shit, and they just grow into that life. And now they become that way. So I think for them, it's more like coming to a point of realizing I ain't trying to do this shit forever. Like, get to a point of realization that I can stop doing this before I end up in jail, before I end up killed or some shit like that. And, you know what I mean? Of course, it's not worth it. I think, you know, the rap game can somewhat show it in the light that make it seem cool.
Definitely.
So that's what kind of draw young folks into it, because all you see is the money, the cars, and the hoes. But majority of these kingpins, drugs, anything like that, even rappers now at this point, plenty of them in jail right now. Plenty of them. Even Thugger, I'm sorry, but like all these people, like these rappers, a lot of rappers in jail doing real time. So, you know what I mean? Clearly with the streets, man, you're only going to end up one or two places, man. So, but I do have a lot of admiration for people who came from nothing like the streets and then they make themselves or something. Because it's like, bruh, just think about like how tough it is to come from the bottom like that and really like elevate yourself. Like, I got a bunch of respect because I know even in my position, like I ain't come from there. I came from a great space, and so it's just like you see that and understand how hard it is even for me in certain cases.
Right.
But you add somebody from the hood with a whole lot less opportunities to still make it out, you gotta respect that, man.
You gotta respect.
Is the streets worth the hype? I would say no, it's not worth the hype. And like he said, I'm not street either. I'm not even gonna put on the front. I say it's not worth the hype. For the simplest fact, and I mean it's just common sense. You know it's not worth the hype. There's no good that come from it. I mean you get the fast money, you know, get the fast life and things of that nature. You know it's dangerous, but at the same time, I mean, like you said earlier, you either gonna end up in one or two places, either dead or in jail. Some niggas get to make it out and do what they do, but then they end up right back they going to jail or whatnot just because we so wrapped up in our own influences, we don't have the proper influences around us to know which way to go. You know, everybody in that one man whole type influence. You know, we going down the same path and we gonna get jammed and stuck, and the boys gonna pack the top overs and we done. So, it's just me per se. I get it, you know, and I see how, you know, if you look at history and how it repeats itself in history, how everything has been brought, and you can't always use it as an excuse. That's why but at the same time, I always look at our people who made it out the hood. I look at our people who got influences and things of that nature, who really not, you know, they get out and they say, fuck it, I'm leaving it behind. I ain't really caring about nobody back there, you know. But we got those type of people who ain't bringing the right influences back in. You know, people are attracted or influenced by the people who are around them. So all I'm seeing is stealing, killing, you know, trying to get over. If that's all I'm seeing, then I'm going to do all I see. Right. So, you know, and I ain't, like you said earlier, I ain't judging nobody by no means of trying to make a life for themselves. But if I know what I'm doing is a dead end, why I'm gonna continue to go down that road, you know? So, but like I said, it's about the influences and then these jails that has been created just to really put us inside. If you look at it, you know, it's played out. That's all. That if you we cover the most of the population in sports and in jail. When it comes to athletes, you know, or when it comes to jail time, we cover the most of the population. It's most African Americans. It was made for us for the most part, right? That's all you see in there. So if I see that, I see what everybody in there for. He in there for a key. He in there for kicking the dough down. He in there for setting his partner up. You know, you see all these things while they in there, but we see that and we just want to get wrapped into it, and then now we in there for something stupid. You know, and we celebrating the shit. You know, I went, you know, I did some time, you know, I did 8-10 years.
Got whole burritos and nachos and
you know.
The whole cellar got a canteen in they shit.
I ain't trying to live like that.
I ain't celebrating that. Like he said, it is some real ones that did get out and and understood that it ain't about this. I be damned if I come up in this motherfucker again. I be damned if I'm locked up in the cage again. I'm gonna make some of myself. They took the time, they read, you know, they were institutionalized. They took the time and they read and they found a better path. So they understood what we were talking about, that the streets ain't worth the hype. I don't want to be in no fucking jail cell 5x4. You know, I don't want to be in nothing like
I think also too though, like, I think you gotta just ask yourself a question like, am I doing this because I want to do it or because I have to do it? And if you look at it and you say, okay, you know what, I'm out here kicking doors and selling drugs and scamming, doing all sorts of stuff because I want to do it, then you shouldn't do it. Point blank, period. You need to go. You know what I'm saying? Two, like also too, man. Like I said, man, like if you spending all of your time trying to figure out how you gonna sell drugs, how you gonna kick doors and all sorts of stuff, I feel like you can put all that same energy into something like your craft, into something that you really love, something that you really care about. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, I challenge everybody that's out here, you know, living life wrong and knowing that you can change your life around, man. Like, try to put that energy and that effort into something that you really love, something that you really care about, something that you feel like, something that you really have a passion for, man. Like, something that you have a passion for, you put all the energy and effort into it, and then it could become something beautiful. You never know.
Okay. I feel like they do though, but it's about those influences. Like I said earlier, it's about the influence that they got around. And now you talking about putting my passion or whatnot in. If I'm in that situation and that's all I know, but now I'm looking at social media and all these things. You talking about putting my passion into something, and next thing they gonna move to is rap, right? We ain't really thinking about if I'm talented in some of these other areas because it's not being exposed to it. But you know, rap music, we gon', you know, maybe I'm passionate in that, and most motherfuckers suck. That's why it's so watered and washed down now, because now you got everybody trying to go that lane that might not be that's not your wave. You know, no hard feelings and no shots to you for trying. You know, that's cool, but that's not your way. Let's try something else. Maybe you maybe you talented here in this area. Maybe you talented here in this area. You never know. You got to try it. You didn't know about rap, but you went in there and got in the studio. You learned how to play the boards. That shit right there sometimes could be, a little difficult to figure out the different sounds and reverb, all these things, and that's going on in the studio. So if you're smart enough to figure that out, you're smart enough to figure some of these other things out.
Nah, that's real.
Credit card scams, all this bullshit. My man Bendo Kev, whatever the fuck his name is, Kevo, whatever the fuck his name is, all these. Yeah, if you smart enough to figure these things out, you smart enough to figure other shit out. We are lawyers, we're judges, we got all this shit that we are, and we can be filling more of these spots, more of these spaces up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it just all boils down to, like, you can't really help what environment you're born into. So, people who come from those environments, there's only so much they can really handle or really have control over. But once they get to a point of being conscious enough to be able to decipher and know that I got more options than what I'm just doing now, if it is some illegal or crazy shit, it's on that individual to then seek out the knowledge to figure out what it is they want to do. You know what I mean? And, influences is important to have that. But if you don't got them influences, then you're going to have to do some extra work to then figure those things out, man. And, man, at the end of the day, man, I guess we can knock on to an agreement, on the dating end, streets may be worth the hype. Jabari said streets worth the hype. When it come down to dating and shit like that, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I ain't say that shit.
Verzi ain't say it.
I ain't say that shit.
I pretty much said, depending on where you at in life, if you're ready for a relationship,
it ain't worth it.
No, but hey, you saying, but when it comes down to the streets, when it comes down to that life, I think we all can agree, that ain't the way. You know what I mean? I ain't got to be from that life to be able to tell. I can see it from experience and, from the outside looking in. So
you gotta make sure, man, that you keep your circle solid, man, because at the end of the day, you are who you around. So if all your homeboys bullshitting, you gonna be the third bullshitter or the fourth bullshitter or the fifth bullshitter.
Absolutely, man. Yes, you are an example of the company you keep, man. As you can see, this is the Talk What You Know podcast.
Talk what you know.
These are three individual
not what you think.
Black men coming together trying to do something special, man. Bringing to you some real dialogue, man. You know what I mean? Bringing you some real perspectives. Doing what we do, man. Living life, trying to elevate every day.
Elevation.
Talk what you know, not what you think, man. Shout out to the supporters for tapping in.
Shout out Creative Soul.
Creative Soul Studios.
Shout out to Aim High.
Aim High,
Drinky Drink.
Hey, man.
We out.
We doing what we do.